Welcome to Venture TV, this time live from the Women here in Munich. I'm Jana Schafschred and I have Adora Cheung here. She's founder and CEO of Homejoy.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, actually, yeah. Homejoy is, what does Homejoy actually do? Maybe you explain yourself.
So Homejoy connects people with home service professionals, and we started with house cleaners. And so basically you just go online, homejoy.com or homejoy.de, homejoy.co.uk, wherever you may live. You just tell us about your place, and then we send you someone who can clean your house. It's very simple.
Sounds nice, yeah. Sounds as if I can use it, actually.
Yes.
I read a little bit how actually you came up with Homejoy. It wasn't your first idea when you actually was really bound to found a company, actually. And it's only been, I think, 1 or 2 years, it's 2 years now. Maybe you tell a little bit on how you actually came up with Homejoy.
Sure. So my co-founder is my younger brother, Aaron, and he and I started in 2009 working on a variety of ideas. And our primary purpose was to create a company that made people happier. And so we actually started off with a company called Pathjoy, which is sort of similar to Homejoy in name only, but it was a company that connected people with life coaches and therapists, because we thought those are the people that make people happy. But it turned out it wasn't something that we were very interested in doing in the long term. And people didn't really understand the product we were trying to create. And so we spent 2 to 3 years, about almost 3 years, just struggling to try to find ideas. And it wasn't until 2012 when, coincidentally, Aaron, who is a typical bachelor, his place was a huge mess, and he decided instead of cleaning this place up, I'd rather be coding, and I'd rather be working on our own projects. And so he went to go try to find a cleaner to clean his place. And what was supposed to save him time took him an enormously long amount of time to find someone who could, was background checked, who was verified to clean, who was certified to clean. And it just wasn't convenient. And so he came back to me and said, hey, we should work on this, because here's a problem that I'm having. And I think there are going to be lots of people who actually want a house cleaner, but it's just very hard to find someone good. And so we looked more into the problem. We studied the industry more and more, and we realized how inconvenient it actually was and how inefficient a lot of the cleaning companies were running. And so we decided to layer technology on top of the industry, and we have Homejoy today, which is a super convenient way to find a house cleaner.
Nice. How did the first weeks actually look like? Because it's a marketplace. You probably set up the platform. It doesn't, which is okay, the beginning and everything. But then all of a sudden you have to do put partners on top and put the cleaners on the platform and then look for clients. How did you solve the, I'd say, chicken and egg problem in the beginning?
Yeah, the chicken and egg problem is always the most annoying problem, and so for us on the demand side, we needed to get customers, of course, and then but the easy part was actually getting the cleaners on board, because we thought, okay, we can just become cleaners ourselves. And so all we needed to do was go find clients. And the initial clients we just found we were living in Mountain View, California at the time, and we just found people off the street. We convinced them to use our service, and we went to go clean their house. And cleaning is actually, what we learned from doing that is cleaning is very, very hard. To be a professional cleaner, it's a very hard job, and we weren't actually very good at it ourselves. And so we had to go learn how to become professional cleaners. And so the first thing we did was we decided, okay, let's go find books, like by Martha Stewart or whatever the domestic queen of that day was. And that didn't help. And so I actually got a job at a local cleaning company in San Francisco, California, in the U.S. And I learned a lot about how to clean, but the most important thing I learned there was just how they run the cleaning company. For example, when they tried to schedule a bunch of cleaners at once for the next day, it was very inefficient. They didn't have software to do it. They were doing it very manually. And so these are a lot of things that we can solve by just coding through programs, through software. And and so that's how we started off. Was we became cleaners ourselves. We got the clients. And then over time, we were able to convince actual professional cleaners to come onto our platform. And today we have over 2,000 professional cleaners on the platform, so it's worked out well for us.
Well, that's what I call passion, actually. Yeah. But now you are very well funded by Google Ventures. I think it was 38 million US dollars. I read. Yes, probably more than 100 employees already. So, and this within 1.5 to 2 years. How can you manage to do all that? So how can you manage to scale that fast and not getting defocused and really getting everything managed?
Yeah, that's a good question. It was a matter of executing and focus and creating a playbook that worked from city to city to city as we launched into new cities. So, for example, when we went into Berlin, we had a playbook that worked for over 30 cities, and we decided not to, you just need to focus, and you don't want to get too far away from the actual things that that work. So we were just copying, from city to city to city, and that's how we're able to scale very fast.
Nice, lovely. You're actually active now in 30 cities across US and Canada, yes, as well as in UK, yes, I heard, and also recently in Germany. So you opened up an office in Berlin. So what is so special about it? Is there any differences about the German market compared to the UK market or US market? Are cleaners working differently? Do customers have different behaviors or different wishes to fulfill?
Mm-hmm. Well, the cultures are definitely different, but all in all, people have the same problem of not wanting to clean their own house. And so that way the demand is very much similar everywhere. And so we're seeing great growth in London and UK, and also as well as in Berlin and Germany. And we're very positive. The customers are very much the same as like in New York City or in San Francisco, California. They all want the service, and so we expect it to get very big here.
It's a nice model to scale, actually. Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm a Berlin girl and also based in Berlin, so I'm happy that you've opened up your office in Berlin. What made you to open an office in Berlin, not in Hamburg or Munich? Was there any specific choice behind that, or was it just, okay, Berlin is the biggest city, it's going to be a bigger market than Munich for a first step, or what was your initial idea behind that?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. One, first and foremost, is talent. We thought that the entrepreneurs were all based in, well, they're based everywhere, but we thought there are a lot of entrepreneurial talent in Berlin, and so it was a great place for us to start there in Germany. So it's not to say we won't open offices anywhere else in Germany, but that's where we started. And yeah, second is Berlin is obviously the biggest city there with over 3 million people there, and so we find advantages of having an actual office in some of our bigger markets.
Makes sense, definitely. Now that the cleaning matching platforms are pretty famous in Germany. It's just Book a Tiger got just a 7-digit funding round in Germany, and then there's also Helpling, a rocket internet startup, and Clean Agents and a couple of other smaller platforms. So. My feeling is that it's just like it basically is like a race of the fun. So what gets the most funding is going to end up being the market leader in the business. What makes you special about the others, and what's your strategy to just conquer Europe in the end?
Sure. So we're very much focused on what we're good at and doing our own thing. And so we're very flattered that other people think that the concept is great as well and want to copy it. But again, we're just very focused, and we think that if we focus on, providing great experiences for the customer and great experiences for the cleaning professional, that at the end of the day we become the go-to platform.
Yeah, I might test it. Yeah, we're looking for a cleaning agent right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now you found with your brother, Aaron. Did you grow up in an entrepreneurial family? Have you been thinking, okay, when you were both 10 years old or a teenager, actually this is what we're going to do: open up an own company and then start being entrepreneurs? Was it always an issue, or was it just by coincidence? Okay, we do something together.
I think it was more of the latter. We didn't necessarily grow up in an entrepreneurial family. I think it was more of we were encouraged to tinker around a lot and just do our own thing. And it was very much a coincidence that Aaron and I, in 2009, just didn't have a co-founder, and he was crashing at my place, and I just looked over to the sofa that he was crashing on and said, hey, we should just start a company. And so we just started working together, and it's worked out very nicely.
It works out. You never have fights or anything.
I wouldn't say that, but I would say we resolve our differences very quickly.
Okay, that's Good. You probably have experience in that.
Yes.
What I also read, and this is my last question, you already also created a Homejoy Foundation. What's that about? What you doing there?
So when we started this company, we knew that if we ever got to a point where we got big enough, where we had a platform where people knew about us, that we should be maximizing the impact we possibly could have. And so the foundation is created as a way for us to give back to our communities. And we focused, on one hand we focused towards military families, and we focused on STEM education. And now we're just looking at how we can help our communities get better. Because we want to give back, because the community gives to us, and helps us make our startup, our company, very big and successful. And so we think that we can do even more for everyone else.
Brilliant. Sounds really nice. Thank you for the interview. Is there anybody you're excited about to hear today, or any workshops you want to go to?
I'm actually not quite sure.
You have too many appointments, right?
Yeah, exactly. I hope to see a couple speakers though.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.